What happened to your accent?
What happened to yours?
Who's been messing up everything?
It's been Agatha all along.
Welcome back to the Real Screen Team. I'm Andrew Thomas. I'm here with fellow Marvel expert Christopher Johnson for the most part.
Hello.
And we're here with our special guest, Nyk Morris.
Hi.
And we're continuing Marvel of the Multiverse with Wandavision.
One of the biggies.
WandaVision.
Which plays a big part into Doctor Strange 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And so much more going forward.
It could be argued that it was her movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
True.
Yeah. But want to get to the overview?
Sure. WandaVision is a television miniseries created by Jack Schaefer for the streaming service Disney Plus, based on the Marvel Comics featuring characters Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch, and Vision. It is the first television series in the Marvel Cinematic Universe produced by Marvel Studios, sharing continuity with all the films in the franchise and taking place after Avengers Endgame. Jack Schaefer served as head writer with Matt Shakeman as director. The miniseries stars Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany as Wanda Maximoff and Vision, along with Deborah Jo Rupp, Fred Malamed, Catherine Hahn, Tiana Paris, Randall Park, Kat Dennings, and should I say it?
Yeah.
And Evan Peters. And the premise.
Oh, okay. So, the premise of WandaVision is that 3 weeks after the events of Avengers Endgame, Wanda Maximoff and Vision are living an idyllic suburban life in the town of Westview, New Jersey, trying to conceal their true natures from their neighbors. And as their surroundings begin to move through different decades, they encounter various television tropes. The couple suspects that things are not quite as they seem.
Bum, bum, bum.
I thought it was really good.
Yes.
Excellent show.
Yes. And I think mainly what made it, really good for me is the fact that I'm a huge sitcom guy.
Me too.
I love sitcoms.
Me too.
So to see them make all these nods, references, and acknowledging the tropes of all these sitcoms throughout the decades.
Yeah.
But not
Perfect.
even just the sitcoms. So when we said that things like start to get a little eerie, they make nods not just to the sitcoms like I Love Lucy or the Dick Van Dyke Show, but they have Twilight Zone references in there. And Alfred Hitchcock references. They're just like slightly askew, so we're not watching this happy suburban life. Something's going on, and it's perfect.
Yep. But Elizabeth Olsen did great.
Oh, yes.
Always.
Since this is her show, so.
Always.
Yeah.
I love her so much. She always, she is the perfect Wanda. I know she was whitewashed as a character.
Mm.
Disrespectful to the Romani people. But Elizabeth is gorgeous as Wanda.
But at the same time, she is also Magneto's
Yeah.
daughter.
But the character of Wanda is Romani.
So what explains Pietro then?
They're Romani.
But they're also Jewish.
Yeah. So disrespectful to that group of people, but we will not deny that they whitewashed the character, but Elizabeth did her job. She's perfect as Wanda. She loves the character, and you can feel that every time she's on screen.
Yeah.
She cares so much,
and
and that's what I love.
And every time that she plays the character,
It gets better and better.
Yeah. Despite the fact of her losing her accent, but we finally got an explanation to that.
We did.
Yeah, one of my favorite episodes is the whole WandaVision origin episode, basically.
Yeah.
Flashback.
Yeah.
Where apparently when she is in Scarlet Witch mode, that's when the accent comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Although I did think she looked hot in that classic Scarlet Witch costume in the 80s.
Oh, that was
episode.
such a cute costume. I
Yeah.
loved it. She was like, I'd never go out there in a leotard, but she did it for the show, and it was gorgeous.
It turned me on.
What about Vision out there in his little macho wrestling suit? He
looks
ain't gonna give
great.
him the same love.
He's not my type. He looked cool, but he's not my type.
You gotta do the character.
I mean, big fella, I understand everybody's appeal of Mommy Wanda, but calm down. I understand the appeal. I
know.
agree.
She is.
Wanda
I stand
is mommy,
Wanda.
but calm down.
Exactly. We don't mess
No.
with Mama.
As we can see.
She comes correct every time.
And of course, Paul Bettany was great as Vision,
Yeah.
though there were more than one of him.
Yeah.
Which one?
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, we had
Which one's the real one?
the one who created that one.
Ship
that
of
created-
Theseus. Ship of Theseus.
Thank
Which
you.
one is the real one?
And also, was I the only one freaking out when we saw him in pieces?
Oh, when you see Wanda just disheveled about the fact that he was all cut up, like,
Yeah,
Yeah, was
That
I
breaks
the
your
only one
heart.
disturbed?
it breaks your heart.
probably. Yeah.
They showed
was
that they
sad,
don't
but I
care about
wasn't
him
quite
any more
as-
than being a
I
machine.
wasn't quite as.
I mean, we saw this man in how many films? And
Yeah.
now he is a pile of scraps.
for the government to use.
Yep.
Yeah, where they eventually turn him into this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sword did him dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we get a cool, awesome. I did like the Modern Family interview, so with him that was kind of really.
Oh, I love that
We'll get
episode.
to that. We'll get to that. Because I really want to talk in detail about
I
about
agree.
all
The
of that.
episodes
Yeah.
were fantastic.
Yeah.
But should we talk more about the cast, or should we go more into how the episodes?
I don't even know.
We can do the
I
cast,
love
though.
this show so much.
It's all the
I can
cast.
talk about any of it.
Well, I guess start with two of the most noteworthy unfortunate victims of Wanda. Yeah, Deborah Jo Rupp and Fred Malamud as Sharon and Todd Davis.
I would have loved to see more of Deborah Jo Rupp just because I love that 70s show so
Same
much.
here, same here. We
I wish her
need
part
more
was
Kitty.
bigger. I wish her part was bigger, but she was so great, and it was just a joy to see her in the MCU at all.
Yeah. Yes. Kurtwood Smith, come on, man.
Let's go back to Westview.
I need someone to get their foot up, get a foot up their ass.
Then
Can we talk about the nosy neighbor?
Well, yeah, might as well go into it. Catherine Hahn as Agnes, or should we say Agatha?
It was Agatha all along.
Agatha Harkness.
It was so perfect.
Which, looking back on everything, was she really the villain?
She was the villain. Yes.
No, when you really think about things.
Yeah, not really.
Who is really the villain in this story?
We need to get back into that
director.
when we have to
The
get back into
director.
that when we go to the bad.
The director of Sword. He was the villain all along.
We have like 3 villains in this show, really.
Well, very true, very
That's
true.
true.
I mean, he broke the accords in which they weren't supposed to rebuild Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
He broke the Sokovian Accords. Yeah. While at the same time, Wanda took over a whole town in New Jersey.
I don't care. I will stand.
Just based off of her grief and her going through the grieving process, she took over a whole town, subjugated, I don't know, hundreds of people to live in her fantasy world as she lives through all of
And they were also in so
the
much pain.
sitcoms that she used to learn how to speak English.
they were
I
also in so
support
much
women's
pain.
rights, but most importantly, I support women's wrongs. Like, I love her. I don't care.
and then-
She was grieving. It was unconscious.
And
And, until
then
she did
when
know,
she
she
fin-
tried to break it. But then...
She didn't try to break it at first.
Okay, not at
No,
first.
no,
she was
she
like,
didn't.
okay, she didn't at first.
No.
Yeah, she did go out there and fight Sword and was like, step off, let me have my time. But she was grieving.
And then she was going to harm all the people
Yeah.
in Westview.
She tried to let them go, and then she started to
No,
lose her
she
kids and
didn't.
said, no.
No,
she did not.
And was going to break all of their necks.
Yeah, she. So you can explain why they were
I
so upset with
support
her at the
women's
end
rights
of
and women's wrongs.
She is the villain.
Yeah,
Wanda
she
is the villain of this story.
I don't
Agatha
care.
was trying to help
care.
make sure she doesn't become
No,
the
she
Scarlet
didn't.
Witch.
No. Agatha wanted that power for herself.
To make sure
No,
that
no.
things don't
Agatha
turn
wanted
into
that
what
power.
happened in
Agatha-
Multiverse of Madness.
Agatha wanted that
she
power for
knew what
herself.
was going to happen.
Nope, Agatha wanted that power for
It's
herself.
just like Mordo knowing how utterly messed up things are going. She had the same mindset
Nope.
as Mordo.
No, because she killed her entire Salem coven back in the day.
They were trying to kill her.
Well, they knew she was evil. They were like, she's doing wrong. And so they were like, they were gonna witch trial her because she actually was harming her coven. Because she was actually looking for the Darkhold, using its power.
While at the
She
same
was
time
wrong.
making sure
She was wrong.
that what ends up
She saw
happening with the
she saw-
Scarlet Witch
she saw Wanda.
not happen, but
She saw
look
Wanda's
what
raw.
happened.
She saw Wanda's raw power. She was like, "How come you get that much power? You hadn't even studied. You did all this subconsciously, and she wanted it.
Yeah,
She
and
wanted it.
But I
Wanda
think,
was subconsciously
but
doing it at
personally,
first.
I think she wanted to take the power to make sure that it doesn't end up turning
the
into what it
Dr. Fate
turns
too.
into.
I think she was like, "I see you as the Scarlet Witch. You can't have it. I want it. I'm gonna take it."
Yeah, but she's not gonna use it like how
Yes, she
Wanda
was.
did.
Yes, she was. Agatha would use that in a heartbeat. Agatha's
Well, we'll see in her
chaotic. I
spin-off
love
show.
it. I stand
We'll see in her
Agatha.
spin-off show, though.
I can't
Yeah,
wait for
yeah.
Agatha House of Darkness.
Yeah.
It's
You're
so
you're coming
exciting.
back for that one.
I'm very excited.
Yep, and then let's go
But
into the other
Catherine
supporting cast.
Hahn was fantastic.
Perfect. Absolutely
Her
perfect.
whether it's her playing the nosy neighbor or her playing Agatha, herself, fantastic.
And you can tell she was geeking the whole time. She enjoyed being there. She just was happy to be there.
And she killed Sparky too.
She killed Sparky too.
And
was so
and of
perfect.
course, I mean, with talking about this woman, quite possibly the greatest theme song for a
I was
character
about to
ever.
say, how many times did you listen to Agatha all along? Because I can tell you I wore it out.
Same here.
I
Same
wore it
here.
out. It was amazing.
I mean, anyone who thought of properly using the melody of the Munsters theme,
Exactly.
you deserve all the praise in the world for that.
It was wonderful.
It is fantastic. They better use it again for her
Her
spinoff.
show, I agree.
Yeah.
It has to be the opening. While we're on that, can we talk about each theme song for each decade and how they
we
it
will
was
get
gorgeous.
into that once we get into the good.
Yeah,
Okay,
get to the
all
cat.
right. Because I geeked for each one.
I guess now talk about those that are trying to help Wanda. Starting with Tiana Paris as Monica Rambeau,
Yeah.
the person who should be Captain Marvel.
Exactly, and I can't. She better be. That's what I'm saying, Marvel. She better be.
Plus, in the comics, Monica Rambeau was Captain Marvel before Carol Danvers. Monica Rambeau was the leader of the Avengers at one point. You had the perfect opportunity of having this woman as Captain Marvel, and you botched it.
That's all right. They'll make up for it in the future. I fully believe it because Marvel, you better come on.
If they really are planning on kicking Brie Larson
'Cause
out
they
of the
should.
MCU, please do the right thing and make sure Monica Rambeau becomes Captain Marvel.
And make it
Please.
Tiana Taylor because she understood what she was there to do.
Yep.
She
was perfect.
Yes, she was
She was
fantastic.
absolutely perfect. Just as a neighbor who didn't know what was going on, to a sword, as a daughter of the
A
creator
sword
of
opera.
Sword. Are you kidding me? And then she comes in and she gets make her Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Let her be Captain Marvel.
And
Yes.
Then let's talk about the comic relief.
Ah, yes. Randall Park as Jimmy Woo and Kat Dennings as Darcy Lewis. I'm so happy they're both back.
I was
Yeah,
too.
Kat Dennings is another
He got better at
Marvel
his
crush.
magic. She's
Well, yes.
she's
And I
an
will fight you for
astrophysicist
her.
now.
I will be able to fight you for.
I
her.
will fight you for
I
Kat
will
Dennings.
I will fight y'all both for her. Like she queen, and she's been studying this whole time. She got her degree. She leveled up. She said, "I'm not an apprentice anymore. I am the one you'll call."
And she's
I
not
love
quite
seeing
as,
it.
She's not quite as man hungry as she was in the Thor movies.
It's all right. She didn't need to be. She solved the whole thing,
Well, there wasn't a himbo in this.
and there didn't need to be. It's all
But-
right.
But I like the fact that Jimmy learned
He got his magic.
Yeah.
He learned his
the
magic.
close-up magic.
Yeah, from
She was
from Ant-Man
studying.
2.
She was
Yeah.
studying her thing this whole time, and he studied his magic, and he got it. He said, "I'm good at close-up
And
magic."
seeing them, along with Monica, starting to figure out everything that's going on.
Dream team.
It was fantastic.
I wouldn't mind Darcy and Root being a couple.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Yeah. Because
And they better be in the Marvels.
Yeah.
I want this.
Yes.
They better be in the Marvels, dang it.
Bring them back.
We need more of Jimmy and Darcy. And
The biggest FU to the Marvel fans.
oh god, why do I have a feeling Kevin Feige?
They said it's funny.
Why do I have a feeling Kevin Feige, Jack Schaefer, they both were like,
Let's do this.
yeah, because of course they want to cause play the
their
cl-
first troll, yeah. Play the
It
clip.
was.
Emotional damage.
so much emotional damage. We had it, and they took it away. Evan Peters as Pietro Maximoff, or should we say,
Ralph Boner. Why?
the,
Why you do this to us? Why you hurt our hearts like that?
you finally did the thing in giving us the Quicksilver that we actually like. No offense to Aaron Taylor Johnson.
He tried. He was
No,
there.
he was
He
good.
did. He
You
was
didn't see
there.
that coming.
Gone too quick. Maybe that's why we didn't like stand him as much as Evan. But like Evan was like the bread and butter.
We got 3
Of the
movies
X-Men movies. It
of
was
seeing
gorgeous.
seeing this man
yeah, we
grow
loved
as
him.
a character.
Yeah.
We loved him and all his little time movie scenes. Like it was
It was fantastic.
And
And
just
then
to
we
see
finally
him show up on her front doorstep.
Yeah, I freaked out when it
I
happened.
did too. I screamed. I was like, ah! I was so
It's like
excited
it's
to see
happening.
him.
It's happening.
Happening. We're like, it's a new Marvel show. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
it's
then,
the first
then ends up being
one.
Marvel's second troll.
They trolled
Next
us.
to Far Way Home. Next to Far From Home, that was the first troll. This was the second troll.
Yep.
They just,
Oh
decided-
yeah,
They say,
them
"Oh, you think you
acknowledging
knew?"
the multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, you thought you knew what was going on. No. But
Snooper's gonna snoop.
yeah, Snoop's going Snoop.
Yeah, where Agatha decided to give him big
yeah.
powers to pretend he was to run fast. Yeah.
And then just broke our hearts when, oh no, he's not Pietro. He's a guy named Ralph Boner. But how does he have the speed? Did Agatha give
Yeah.
him this?
Yeah,
I
she
think
tweaked
so,
him.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
But he does have good taste in music because as he was holding Monica captive, he was playing
Yeah.
Embers by 311 on his guitar.
Let's get.
It
into
was
the
cool
good.
seeing him be the cool uncle, though.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
cute. That was cute.
Yeah, for the Halloween episode. Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess now we really start to get in the good. And most of the episodes paying homage to all the great sitcoms of the past up to the present.
Along with the opening credits.
It's gorgeous. The opening
Yes.
credits.
I mean, the first episode is essentially the 1950s eking into the 1960s with definitely paying homage to both I Love Lucy and the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Yeah.
A little bit of Bewitched, just a sprinkle.
Well, that's for the
That's
episode
but
2.
like just a sprinkle.
It was definitely Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie
Yeah.
in episode 2 for the
Yeah.
60s. And the fact that for both of those episodes, they brought in Dick
They
Van
did.
Dyke.
They brought in actual people who worked on the
Yeah.
set, who studied under the tutelage of the people who did these like amazing special effects.
Yeah, so if you're going to make reference and pay homage to Dick Van Dyke,
Do it right,
you better
and they
bring in
did
Dick
it.
Van Dyke.
And they not only that, but they had a live studio audience. It was perfect.
Yes.
Like you could feel that they did everything that they could to make it as gorgeous and as true to the era as possible.
Just all the chef
just
kisses.
gorgeous.
All the chef kisses. And as someone who loves
Grew up on those
sitcoms,
shows. Grew
yes.
up on those. Like, you know, our
Fantastic.
grandmothers, like they had us watching those shows with them. It was beautiful to see.
And then
and then with episode 3, they're getting into the 70s. Everything's in color now.
Yep.
So they're paying homage to the Brady Bunch and the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Wandavision. Just a little bop, da, da, bop, bop. It was just so cute. It was so good. The colors, the
Vision
costumes.
got to have his hair long.
Talk about the costumes. Each era's costumes were immaculate, from the cute skirts and the dresses of the 50s all the way to her in her like dress down, slouching it gear. When we hit the 2000s, it was beautiful. Every single one.
yep, and then like the 80s and 90s with the growing pains.
What,
Exactly.
Growing Pains,
Growing
Full
Pains.
House.
Yeah, Baby Vision.
And
Baby.
Family Ties.
Baby Vision. I was on a Baby Vision hate page for like a week. It was hilarious. Like,
Now that was the Growing Pains reference, but I felt that episode felt more like Family Ties
it
and
did.
Full House.
And Full House.
Yeah.
It felt like a lot
Especially
of like, Full House.
in the opening credits, they're having a picnic in the town
Exactly.
square, just like how the Tanner family
Exactly.
had
Like you
a
can. It was
picnic
perfect.
in the
The
later
layers.
seasons.
Those were her big sisters. She got to do like a little Full House episode. It was perfect. All the layers were there. It was just, the show was...
And with them bringing in Billy and Tommy, having twins.
Yep.
And
just
then
miraculously
seeing...
grow, by the way.
Yeah, they age up.
Just age up.
Just
I
like,
mean, that...
just like in Family Ties
Exactly. It
with
was so
the
great.
youngest Keaton.
It was so great.
How one season he was just a baby, and then in the
next
next he
all of a
was
sudden
like
grown.
5. He was 5 years old.
Yeah. Meanwhile, everybody
Then
else
the
is
growing
like still
pains
the same
also
age.
with the daughter. Mm-hmm. Also, she was a baby, the youngest. Yeah, there was a youngest who was born. Then she became Ashley Johnson.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
I love it. Like I said, layers.
And then when we get into the 90s / early 2000s, Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle.
I mean, you felt it just by having Billy and Tommy doing the whole breaking the fourth wall, talking to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, with Pietro, you know...
The opener. And then they got, like, an actual, like, 90s star to sing the opening credit. It was perfect. I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I keep forgetting.
I'm blanking. But it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And then the 2000s and
The Modern
2010s,
Modern
Modern
Family.
Family and The Office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite part was when Vision was talking to the camera. He's like, "Why am I still?"
He said,
here?"
"Why am I here?" When he notices, he's like, "Wait, why am I talking to you?" And just starts snatching off his mic and going.
And the fact that essentially the theme song of that episode was The Office.
Exactly.
theme.
It was
Yeah.
great.
And then the fight scenes were awesome. When we
Oh.
actually got the fight scenes.
We got the first flying scenes, like first scenes of like fighting up in the air. Like, can you believe that was the first time? That was the first one.
My God.
Exactly.
We
That was their
finally
first fully in the air
got the
fight
Dragon
scenes.
Ball Z feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we got two Visions against each other. That was one of my favorite fights.
Yeah.
Theological. Very theological. Was it a fight or were they just debating?
Well, it started off
I know
as
it
a
does.
fight,
I know. I'm
but
just
then-
saying, but they just ended in a debate.
But then Vision decided
What
to
more
go give
Vision
the
than
other
that?
Vision his memories back.
Yeah. And therefore, I'm like, yeah, Wanda, with everything that ends up happening later on, you couldn't do something, maybe figure out, maybe Vision might be out there,
Yeah.
instead of you almost destroying
We'll
the
get
multiverse.
to that. We'll get to that.
I'm
with the
sorry,
Doctor
but like
Strange, too.
she created a
Well,
whole.
We'll get to
person.
that Doctor Strange too.
She created
is
a
the
whole
villain.
person.
She's the villain.
Nope. I don't
Yeah.
care. She's not. I told you I'll die on that hill. I
Well,
stand Wanda.
Well, the bad is also who is the actual villain? Like we said.
Who is the villain in this series? It's
In
up
my
for debate, and that's what's wonderful about it.
In my opinion, I think it is Wanda. Because we see in the end, she reluctantly let everyone go.
Because she didn't want to lose her family.
She turned Agatha into Agnes.
And
And then we end up seeing her in the mountains, regular her, just chilling in the cabin.
spying on her sons in the multiverse.
While the other her is Scarlet Witching over there with the
Spying
dark
in the
hole.
multiverse on her sons, who are real, by the way.
Yes, I know.
They're fueled by her power, but
We'll
she
get to it when we
actually
get to
gave
Doctor
birth
Strange,
to
too.
them. Those are her children.
we'll get to
So the fact that she's even more damaged,
Well,
she'd already lost the love of her life.
and
Now
her
she
brother.
lost her and her brother
And
and
her
her
father.
parents,
Yeah.
and now she's lost
Dang
her
it.
children too.
Make sure Magneto is their father. Once things go haphazardly with Secret Wars and things get fixed.
But if you just get into the
Oh, there's also one other thing.
what?
All the commercials.
Oh, I love
that-
the commercials.
That made nods
yes,
to
all the
either-
trauma of her life. It was
and foreshadowing maybe some things in the
so
future.
in the future as well.
I mean,
Very
the
well
House of
done.
M. Wine.
Mm-hmm. And that was one of my favorite parts about this show was like as we watched each episode coming out, everybody's like Mephisto.
Same here.
Mephisto!
I thought Mephisto would end
Another
up
It
showing
was
troll.
up
so
in there.
wonderful.
Another troll.
It was so great.
Another troll
And they're like, you
for
see
me.
the pattern on her walls. That's an M. It was
But
so great watching this show.
Maybe it was focusing more on House of M.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the fact that because of Wanda,
No more mutants.
Yeah.
But let's
And also, let's not forget
It was
the other
wonderful.
story where she gave every character their deepest desires, but then they all start learning that, oh, this isn't real, and then they have to deal with
Emotional damage.
the emotional damage of knowing it's not real.
What
and
about
yet
the
they
people
still
out on the
remember
edge of
it.
town who are just like doing things by rote? Can you imagine?
Villain.
I don't care.
let's get to the scores and then we've debated. I feel like we've debated enough already.
It was
We really
so
need to get
wonderful.
the
Like
scores.
this show is so much candy.
You want to go?
Yeah.
into
It
the
was just
scores?
wonderful.
You want to go in the?
Me, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, 150 out of 10.
Okay, can you pick one because this man has to edit things?
Yeah.
150 out of 10.
You can't break this. You can't break
1,000
the
out of
scale.
10.
You can't break the scale.
I don't care. This show breaks the scale.
Well,
It was
well,
the first MCU show.
Well, unfortunately,
There
it's
were
a
so
10 out
many-
of 10 for you.
There were so many things. Like this show was just cultural. Like we all talked about this show as it was happening. It was the first one since Endgame. It was just
Well,
so much. So much. They gave us
well,
so
what
much.
about the Netflix shows?
I'm talking about but in MCU.
Well, but
It was like
well,
it was
now
the
they're
first one. Like
canon.
we were hungry after Endgame. We were like, where are they going to go next?
True.
And they gave us this wonderful show full of love and It was just 1,000 out of 10. I don't care.
Well,
I'll
it's a
stand
10
on
out of 10 on.
Okay, on
in
y'all's scale,
post-production.
but on my
Yeah.
scale, it was up there.
Okay.
They killed it.
All right. I give this a 7 out of 10. Yeah, I thought it was good, but still, with us having 3 different villains up until the climax, it was good up until the reveal, and then I wasn't quite sure who I was going to root for on that one, so I'm kind of was stuck on that one. It would have been great if we had one consistent villains of 3 villains.
Well,
See,
for
that's the
most
female
part,
thing.
Agatha was one of the consistent villains. We already knew there was something nefarious, but as things continue along, it does kind of feel like Wanda's the villain, the biggest bad by the end of it. Especially once we see her with the Darkhold, and she's meddling with magic, dark magic.
And your
Okay,
score?
so I know that Captain Marvel was supposed to be like the first female, but like this show gives us the layers of what being female is.
Yes.
So of course there's going to be several villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus on
And
top,
the main character as a villain. Like, come on.
and
It's
on,
complicated being a woman.
and
You got lots of emotions.
well, true.
And you got lots of stuff
And,
going on.
and your score, Chris?
And you got different ways of viewing. So
For me, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. It's nearly perfect. There's just a few things that I feel as though could have been a bit better, or, with the military being the antagonists and whatnot, and, I actually like the whole nuanced idea that there are shades of gray on who's truly the hero and who's the villain, and the way that we all can see different perspectives with it.
That's what's wonderful.
But I can't forgive them for the whole Ralph Boner thing. I can't forgive them. You gave me Pietro and then you took it away. I cannot forgive you for that.
But if you agree with any of our three opinions, go find us on Facebook, The Real Screen Team. Find us on YouTube, The Real Screen Team. Where else, Chris?
Find us on Instagram and on Reddit.
And
you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm on social media. And you can find all of my books on Amazon. Nyk Morris.
And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get more.
Yeah, we are really trying to grow this because once we hit 500,000, we're going to do a live stream celebration where we'll answer some more people's questions on how all this started, you know.
Give us suggestions on what you heard, what you want us to review next, or whatever.
Yeah, constructive criticism on how we can upgrade things.
Yeah.
And then once we reach 1,000, Patreon.
Yeah.
We'll open up a Patreon. You all can throw a few extra dollars, and we'll do viewer suggestions. We'll also do some special videos just for Patreon. And we can also use the money to help grow everything and also help us in growing, you know, our displays, our props, everything.
Yep. And before we go, we're still not done Marvel Multiverse because we're going to another multiversal Disney Plus show, Loki.
Love Loki.
But before we go, want to roll us out, you two?
Well, sure. Well, thank you all for coming. Definitely come back and watch us again. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It definitely helps.
Yes, definitely.
Well, cut, print, that's a wrap.
Ba, 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 ba.